All right, let's just jump right in. Picture this. You're coming home after a super long day. Before you can even find your keys, the door just unlocks. The lights gently fade on just how you like them, the temperature is perfect, and your smart assistant chimes in to welcome you home. I mean, it sounds like pure magic, right? But what if that magic started to feel, well, a little creepy?
Yeah, what if that same home, the one that has your favorite playlist queued up, starts noticing things you never actually told it? Imagine it says something like, "You seem irritated today. I recommend being alone." Whoa! Suddenly, that amazing convenience feels a lot more like surveillance. So that's what we're doing today. We are pulling back the curtain on the dark side of smart homes. We're going to look at the secrets hidden behind all that convenience, the stuff that honestly might make you think twice.
And where does it all begin? Well, it starts with a pretty simple and kind of chilling fact. Your smart home knows everything about you. And when I say everything, I mean everything. And trust me, it gets incredibly personal. We're talking about your assistant knowing the exact time you wake up and go to sleep. It knows when you take a shower. It knows what days of the week you're most likely to order pizza. It even knows how often you get up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. It's even tracking your moods, figuring out when you're stressed or happy just from the tone of your voice and your actions.
This quote really just hits the nail on the head. It's like your home is keeping this super detailed minute-by-minute log of your entire life. It is a digital diary, but here's the kicker. You're not the one writing it. Nope. The entries are just happening, automatically, silently, all of the time.
So this whole system, it's almost like it's building a parallel brain. It's not just sitting there passively recording stuff. Oh no, it is actively learning your habits so it can guess what you're going to do next. It starts picking up on patterns that, let's be honest, you probably don't even see in yourself. It's getting to know you, maybe even better than you know yourself.
Okay, so we've talked about privacy, but now let's see how this whole thing spirals from a privacy issue into a very, very real security threat. Because think about it. All that data, it's sitting on a network. And that network is only as strong as its absolute weakest link. You know those super cheap smart bulbs or little smart plugs you can grab online for practically nothing? Well, here's the scary part. A staggering 90% of them can come with ridiculously weak security. You connect one to your Wi-Fi and bam, just like that, you've created the perfect unsecured backdoor straight into your entire digital life.
A great way to think about this is to picture your smart home as a digital condo building. It really doesn't matter if your own apartment, your laptop, has a security system like Fort Knox. If you connect one of those cheap, vulnerable smart bulbs to the network, it's like propping the main gate to the whole building wide open. A hacker finds that bulb, exploits its pathetic security, gets onto your network, and suddenly they have the keys to every single apartment. And look, this is not some what-if scenario. These are actual, real-world horror stories. We're talking about people hearing strangers' voices talking to their kids through baby monitors, or seeing their lights flickering on and off in an empty room. There was even a family that woke up because a hacker had remotely cranked their smart thermostat to full blast. These aren't just little glitches, you guys. These are home invasions. But you know what? The threat isn't just from some random hacker on the other side of the world. Let's talk about what the companies themselves are doing with all this data they're collecting. Because this is where things get really weird.
So these companies are analyzing your simple, everyday actions to build a full-on psychological profile of you. For instance, you crank up the AC all of a sudden, the system might make an inference, anxiety level increased. You flick the lights on and off a few times, it could interpret that as you being nervous. You order takeout late at night, well, it just logged that you have a disrupted sleep schedule.
So you might be thinking, okay, so what? Why does this even matter? Well, it matters because that incredibly detailed psychological profile, your stress levels, your daily habits, your emotional state, can be sold and used to influence everything. The ads you see, the political messages that pop up in your feed, it could even affect whether or not a bank decides to approve you for a loan.
I mean, it's a level of analysis that is just so deeply invasive. You might think that smart speaker in your kitchen is just there to play music or set timers, but in reality, it's like the company that made it is literally sitting there on your sofa with a notepad, just observing you every single day.
All right, let's push this just one step further. What happens when the very technology that's supposed to make your life easier just fails? Or even worse, what happens when it starts making decisions for you? You see, the path to losing control is a really slippery slope. It starts out innocently enough, right? Stage 1, the system just offers to help you with things. Then, stage 2, it starts anticipating what you need and doing stuff automatically.
But then you get to stage 3, and that's when the system decides it knows what's best for you, and it just starts overriding your choices. I mean, what if it decides you're spending too much money and blocks a purchase? Or decides you need to go to sleep and just shuts off your TV?
But honestly, the most immediate danger isn't some rogue AI taking over. It's something way, way simpler. It all starts with this one little message. And then, the app on your phone, the one thing you use to control your entire house, just stops responding.
And that's it. Suddenly, you can't open your own front door, you can't turn on the lights, you can't even adjust the heat. You are completely, totally locked out. A prisoner in your own smart home.
Imagine standing on your own porch, and your front door tells you this. It's straight out of a horror movie. And the most terrifying part? This isn't science fiction. This has actually happened to people. Their homes, completely dependent on some server in the cloud, just stopped working. So, after hearing all of that, I wouldn't blame you if you're ready to just toss every single smart device you own right out the window. But wait, hold on. The goal here isn't to run away from the technology. It's about learning how to use it consciously. So what's the solution? Do we have to go back to flipping a good old-fashioned light switch from 1998? Well, not necessarily. The good news is there are some really simple, practical steps you can take to reclaim control and make your smart home a whole lot safer. Okay, first things first. Be picky. Avoid those super cheap, no-name brand products and go with brands that actually have a proven track record for security. Next, and this is a big one, set up a separate Wi-Fi network just for your smart devices. It's like building a digital wall around them. Of course, you've got to do the basics right. Use strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and always keep your firmware updated because those updates are what patch up the security holes. And finally, just take control. Go into the settings and turn off any functions you don't actually need. Remember, just because you can connect everything doesn't mean you should. So really, the main takeaway from all this isn't to be scared. It's just to be aware. Look, smart homes are incredible. There's no doubt about it. But we just have to remember that behind all that magic, behind the light that turns on with your voice, there is a massive, complex ecosystem that's constantly learning who you are, how you live, and what you do. And that really leaves us with one last big question to chew on. As this tech gets woven deeper and deeper into our lives, what exactly are we building here? Is this the amazing, convenient, seamless future we were all promised? Or are we accidentally building ourselves a digital hell that just happens to have really good Wi-Fi? For now, at least, that choice is still ours.